who is excited about 2026. That's not just a new year, that's a new decade. That's more or less like infinite intelligence presenting a new ladder before us. Okay, now I know you've climbed several ladders and you fell. You climbed and you fell. You made mistakes, stupid decisions, stupid choices, poor choices. You climbed this ladder, you fell. So infinite intelligence is now saying, okay, I'm going to present another ladder, a brand new ladder before you. So you can make brand new decisions, brand new choices, and then you can climb and just watch the trajectory of your life. It's more or less like a clean slate. That's the beautiful thing about the next 9 years from 2026. It's a clean slate. It's the new. That's what it means. Behold, I will do a new thing. Old things are passed away. All things have become new. The next 9 years, 2026, is more or less like, I'm new, I never existed. So this is why it's very important that you end 2025 with all the jargons and the drama. You must end 2025 with the drama and the jargons and the low vibrational things that are not serving your purpose. Because the old must go so that the new can emerge. So 2026 can then become a new clean slate. The poor choices of the past will not influence the decisions of the next 9 years. The poor choices of the past should never influence the decisions of the next 9 years. It should not. It should not. Because we can't continue to do the same thing the same way, expecting a different result. The manifested realities you see in your life right now, guess what? Do you want me to burst your bubble? The manifested realities you see right now are either the rewards of the investment of the last 9 years or the consequences of the errors of the last 9 years. Whichever way, you can pick up the pieces. You can put the fragments together. Boom! And start a brand new 9 years. So it's not about, worrying yourself about how your life was in the last 9 years. Things didn't work for me. They broke up with me. They left me alone. This is the time for accountability and responsibility. Yes, all the disappointments and the betrayals and the business that didn't work and the relationship that did not work, it's not the time to start beating yourself. It's not the time to be hard on yourself. This is your time to make the best by taking responsibility and accountability. Spirituality is the journey of accountability and responsibility. It's not the journey of lawlessness. Because the moment you begin that journey, right, you are meant to activate something within you, which is the seed of sovereignty. So authentic spirituality is the journey to your personal sovereignty. So you're no longer bound by anybody's rules and regulations. You are now led from within, right? You are led from the office of your soul. The difference between the masses and the elites. Let me tell you the mistake a lot of people make. They think they have to be rich before they become an elite. No, you have to become an elite before you become influential and powerful. That's the difference between who is What is the masses? The masses is simply a group of herd who don't have a brain, or they have their brains, or they can't use their brain. They can't think, they can't reason. They can't use their human faculties. They can't engage their creative ingenuity, their ability to process. The masses are people whose nervous system has broken down. Their nervous system is no longer working. And that's why there is nobody here right now, out of all of you 80 people, who is one of the masses. Nobody who is a masses can actually sit down and listen to what I'm saying. No. If you are one of the masses, what I'm saying will never sound appealing to you. You will just stay for 2 minutes and leave. Yeah. Because what I am saying is for the elites. And the reason you can stay and listen is because you are an elite. So, because elite is, who is an elite? Hi, Ayo. A person who is enlightened, enlightenment. Their self-agency is functional. The ability to think for themselves is working. Their sovereignty is operational. They are not waiting for any political activist, religious activist. They are not. They can think for themselves. So when they come to any table, they are coming to contribute. So a lot of people watching this right now, the reason why you are comfortable staying here, even though sometimes it triggers your beliefs, it sounds like an assault to your theology, is because of two things. Either you are already an elite, you have reached enlightenment, UK, good evening, or you are about to begin your journey to enlightenment. That's what separates you from the masses. You must first become an elite. It is elevating your consciousness to that of an elite that would produce the result that will change your economic, social status. Because there are people in society who, on the social strata, they are referred to as elite, but they are not the elite. One of your House of Law members, House of the Maker, what do they call them? House of Maker. House of Lawmaker, or House of Assembly. Yeah. House of Assembly. One of the members of House of Assembly now, he went to the UK. Have you seen that video? He was wearing one jalabia with dark shades. How many of you have seen that video? He was now touching flowers that they should take his picture. He was literally acting like, it was so obvious that the guy has never been to the UK. He doesn't know how to behave in that environment. Like, it was so awkward. So even though he's at that level in society, allegedly, there is nothing enlightening about him. Because, you know, there are a lot of people in Nigeria, they are money misroad. I hope you know that. So money misroad is not an elite. They just happen to find themselves in the circle of those who have. The haves and they have not. So there are many people who can be categorized as they have not, but their enlightenment is metamorphosing. Many of you are like that. See, 2034 is coming, right down to this date. By 2034, a lot of you are going to be shocked. The condition of your life by 2034. You will look back and you'll be like, Kai, this guy said it. Because you are already enlightened. You are an elite. You may not be driving a nice car. You may not be living in a nice house, but your mind is ready. And that's where it begins from. You are now, on Sunday I told you about spirit, energy, right? And then matter. Whatever is designed in spirit must find expression in matter. Some of you by 2034, you're going to be bigger than the people you think are oppressing you now. Write it down. One of my clients, I'm telling her, you better prepare for power, because all this, trying to work with this governor, you are meant to contest. You are meant to not work with all these people. You are more intelligent than them. You want to keep yourself low because you are afraid. I told her, better start preparing. After 2037, what year again? 2027, 2028, 2029, 20. By 2030, you are going to be bigger than the people you are working with now. Because the table is going to turn. There are a lot of people who don't understand that times are changing. Some of you are going to be owners of real estate. You are working with a real estate company. Now you're going to be a developer. Thank you, Gentle Bajo. Because you are an elite already. That's what it takes. You are an elite. So the journey of the next 9 years is to start producing the result of your enlightenment. Producing the result of your enlightenment. Because the next 9 years, the frontiers of the next decade will be defined by builders and masters. You are now grounded. I was talking to someone today and I said, by now you should have embodied your life path. I'm a master number 11. Miss Judy, I have embodied my life path. So I'm not even thinking about my life path, right? I am now in the state of mastery, buildership, legacy, influence. So that's where you are now. That's where your enlightenment is now taking you to. That's where it's taking you to. And listen, if you are, how many of you here, I'm also 40 plus. How many people here are 30 plus or 40 plus? You are in your late 30s or you are 40 plus? Type in the comment section. Late 30s and 40 plus. Late 30s and 40 plus. So let's say from 35 to 40 plus, 55, blah, blah, blah. Because the truth is, most of you are in your last pinnacle cycle. 40 plus, 30 plus. You are the most persecuted in society. I hope you know that. People want to make it look like Gen Zs are not the most persecuted in society. No. Gen Zs are not the most ridiculed in society. No. It's the millennials and those before them that are the most persecuted in society. They are the most mocked in society. Yes. Nobody is stressing. A lot of Gen Zs are in their parents' house. Some of them have money, but they don't spend their money. They are dependents. A lot of Gen Z girls have a lot of financial support. Many of you women here, 40 plus, if you don't work, you don't go chop. Hunger go finish you, and you're a woman. You've gone past that level. You have now reached that state where you just want to make something for yourself. That if you don't suffer hunger, that's where. So late 30s, from 35. 40 plus, they are the most persecuted in society. You know why? There are people in their late 20s right now who used to look at you like my aunt, my uncle, my brother, my sister. But they are raking in the results they are commanding now is bigger than yours, and they are looking at you like, young people have a way of mocking people who are in their 40s, and because age is something to them, they always forget that they are also going to be old one day. They easily forget that one day they will be 40. So there is the part where people age shame people. I hope you know this. They age shame people. People body shame people, and people, I don't know if it's the right word. They are age shaming you. And the people who are usually victims of age shaming are people in their late 30s and 40 plus. Exactly. Those are the people. I'm just 33 years old. I'm already running real estate companies, like 7 companies. This guy is 40 plus, 50 plus. I'm bigger than him, richer than him. They may not say it, but they are giving off. A lot of you, that's what you're going through. And that in itself weakens you. It weakens you. That in itself brings some kind of discouragement to you. No. The next 9 years, you're not competing with anybody. But everything that you need to recover in your life, you're going to recover it in the next 9 years. It's a whole decade right before you. Shalom, hi. Right before your very eyes. It's a whole 9 years, a whole decade. So I want every man, every woman here in their late 30s and their 40 plus. Hear me. I don't care how many times you have tried and you have failed. The next 9 years can become the most powerful chapter of your life. It can become the most powerful chapter of your life. I don't care how many, because one of the proofs of age, eldership, is that you have tried a lot of things. Many times you have failed, many times you have succeeded. For some people, they failed like 90% of the time. Poor choices, bad decisions, poor business choices. They've been slapped. They've gone through several phases of lessons and character development. Thank you, Ayo. Most women become millionaires in their 40s. In their 40s. And age is an advantage. Thank you. So I don't care how many times you have failed, you have tried. So you see, people in their early 20s, right? Failure is nothing to them because they are just starting. Maybe they have failed maybe once or twice. But you are in your 40s and your 30s, you failed like 20 times. You've done several businesses, it crashed. You started all over again. You picked yourself up again. But for many people in this age range, it gets to the point where this is the trickiest phase of your life. It's the trickiest phase of your life because you've tried several things several times, and it gets to the point you are now 40 plus, you're like, let me just settle for less. I don't think I should be taking any risk again. So you are standing in one of the trickiest phases of your life. This is a phase where most people give up and they settle for less. This is the phase where people convince themselves that it's too late. This is the phase where a lot of women, let me just pack it on. A lot of guys, please, let me just find that 9-to-5 job. They call it midlife crisis. People in their late 30s and 40 plus, they are the most persecuted in society because there's been a lot of high expectations from them that they couldn't meet up with. So everything you've been through, everything that you have been through, all of the failures, all of the heartbreaks, they're not punishment. Consider the last 40 years of your life as preparation. The next 9 years of your life, purpose, power, prosperity. Because you've accumulated experiences, wisdom, understanding, knowledge. And nobody can beat that. Yoruba people will say, you know what that means? It simply means that a child cannot have the same clothing. How we go talk that one now? Help me here if you are here and you understand how to interpret this in English. Meaning, as somebody who if you have passed through different phases of life, meaning you have a lot of clothes that you have used, So if you are 40, you have used a lot of clothes, you've given out some. So a child of 20 or 25 cannot have as much used clothes as you have. They can have the same new clothes like you, but they can't have as much used clothes as you have. An elder has more rag than younger people, and your rag is a symbol of the different experiences that you've gathered in life. So everything you've been through, the failures, the delays, the heartbreaks, they were not punishment, they were preparation. So meaning you've been forged in the fire. That's so you are in, greetings, Mr. Luremi. So you are in your phase of eldership. You are an elder. A lot of people are ashamed of their age. No, it shows that you are an elder. Who are the people running the affairs of the world? Are they 30 years old? Are they 40? Some of them are 80, 90 years old. They've held on to power for decades. Some of them started holding on to power when they were 50 and they have refused to dump it then. Sometimes age is just a number. When it comes to what you can achieve, there are some possibilities that exist in you. And you can tap into those possibilities at any age. One of the things that humbles me is that in the community, there are like two people who are, sometimes I call them to just say hello to them. They are over 70 years old. I have a client, a woman who's going to clock 70 very soon. And sometimes I'm thinking, okay, so what is she trying to achieve with this? And then somehow I am seeing that, wow, the impact she is having as an elder in her community, in her family. And she will say things like, I told them that they can't continue to think like this. They have to use their brain. Like, wow. Eldership, the wisdom of an elder. That's the beauty of pinnacle cycle in numerology, right? The understanding of your pinnacle cycle would help you realize that it is not too late. There are some of you right now, you are entering your last pinnacle cycle, which is 7. You are not there yet. You're not there yet. Maybe in 5 years, 7 years, you're going to enter your last pinnacle cycle, and it is 7. And your last cycle of 7 is spiritual authority. So if you are still chasing clouds in your third pinnacle, when you are meant to enter the last pinnacle cycle of spiritual authority, imagine that's why people get to that pinnacle and then it seems as though, a lot of people in civil service, for instance, the moment they retire, most of them is heart attack. Allegedly. But there are things we've seen, because they just pack it up. They don't know that life is just beginning. Your last pinnacle cycle is the pinnacle cycle of legacy. The next decade is not a decade of survival. No, it's not. It's a decade of sovereignty. So 2026 is the beginning of entering your sovereignty. Some of you are settling for less because you've tried several things sometimes. You've tried a lot of businesses, it failed. So you are just settling for less. Oh, you are a bit comfortable. So to you are, no. To one of my clients, I told her, I said, forget all this working with all these politicians. Go and contest. Go and start working your way to contesting for governor of your state. Leave all this working. I'm a special aid, special assistant, special this. How long are you going to do that for? Giving you crumbs. Oh, because you are hanging around governor, hanging around senator. You think that is something? No. There are possibilities in you that are bigger than just being a special assistant to anybody. I will never accept a senior advisor to a governor. It's below me. And There are some of you too, because I won't settle for less. Some of you, you probably need to accept that, because based on where you are, that's, is relative actually. But there are people that you just know that this one, you are just trying to settle for less. You are afraid of the unknown. Yeah. So being used as a corporate errand boy or girl for politician, to you, yes, I know this person, I know this senator, I know this. When you are meant to be the next governor, you are meant to be the next senator, you are meant to be the next House of Rep. If you are a Nigerian, you looked at the last 2023 election, there was an Okada rider who became a senator. Okada rider. He was an Okada rider. Okada. Boom, boom, boom. How many of you remember the story of that man? He contested and he won the election and became a senator. Okada. There are people in the House of Rep who they were nobodies until 2023. They contested. Because when you are in your mid-30s and early 40s, there is a tendency to settle for less because you think time is going. Let me just accept this one. And that's why people also settle for less in marriage. Let me just, all this talk. When will you give birth to children and start raising your children? These are actually unintelligent vocabularies. Just know that. Because there are people who gave birth to children at 25. They can't even take care of those children. There are men who gave birth when they were 28 years old. They don't even have any relationship with their children. Uncles that are 45 and they don't have any children have better relationship with their children than them. Said a Ugandan is a mayor in New York currently. Mandani. I thought Mandani was Indian. So listen to me. Don't be tempted to settle for less. Don't be tempted to settle for less. And those of you who are below 30, of course it happened in Nigeria. Those of you who are below 30, there is the tendency to think you have time to waste. So you think you think you have the luxury of time. So every opportunity to give your attention to Whiskey and David. I'm not saying don't dance. I'm not saying don't do all of those things. But I'm saying most people below 30, they always think that this is their season to waste their time. Because they think they have time. And of course they do. We all have time. But please, if you are 24 right now, by 2034, you are going to be 34 years old. Does that ring a bell? If you are 28 right now, by 2034, you're going to be 36 years old, 37 years old, right? 37 years old. If you are 30 years old right now, by 2034, you're going to be 39 years old. So you are not too early. It's not too early to start. It's not too early to start. That's the advantage you have. And all the resources, the tools, the infrastructure. Humanity is moving into a space where even a 16-year-old does not have any excuse. I have a 16-year-old I'm mentoring now who, when he showed me his work, the sound that he has created at 16 years old. At 16 years old, I'm like, no, this. If it's not that I know him and I know his parents, I would say this boy must be on cocaine because I know the sound. I'm very deep in music, so when I hear sound, I know that these are the kind of sound that the likes of Avicii, the tones. I'm not talking about just the music. I'm talking about the sound he is producing. How many of you here love EDMs? You attend EDM festivals, electronic music, house music, all the Tomorrowland festivals in Belgium, and all of those. How many of you here know about it? The DJing, where you have several DJs like the Avicii. Oh, sometimes I get a feeling that I never have. No, I get it. So when you attend such festivals and you see the integration of sound and light and symbols and culture, right? The feeling and the vibration you get in those kind of arena, that's the kind of sound a 14, I think he is 14 years old, 14-year-old boy is producing in his room. And he's just doing it casually. No. If you are below 30, don't think you have time. No. You can have fun, but don't make fun the center of your life. We're outside. We're going outside. We're outside. Every time they are outside, they are outside. By the time you are 40 and 45, you will realize there are many times when you even dress up to go out, you just sleep off on your bed. You have dressed up and you've done makeup. You sit down on the chair, you have slept off. It's 2 a.m. When you get to that age, you realize that everything is not about we're outside, jumping from one restaurant and one lounge and one bar together. No, don't let that be the center of your life. Don't let that be the center of your life. That's why I tell people, date your age group. If not, you are going to be stressed. I am telling you, there will be conflict. Imagine me now, somebody is expecting me that me and you be going out every day or we'll go to the club. You have failed. It's not going to work. Because I don't have time for that. That every time we are going somewhere, and you don't go out with me, you don't take me out. No, we'll go out, but not the way this younger generation of people go out. That's not the center of my life. And you will realize that those who spend, I don't want to pop bottles. Yeah, we pop bottles sometimes, but that's not the center of our life. You've got bills to pay. You've got the purpose to pursue. But why don't you, you are 30 and below, why don't you adopt that as a culture right now? So that you can prepare, because see, all of those young people you are competing with, all your friends are, let them see you that you are also there. Even bro, when the money don't come, sorry wa, law, beniwa, let me go there, and then when the money come, you are sweating. All those people, 5 years from now, 10 years, you won't see them again. You won't see them. Some of them, they will become so rich, they won't even call you. Ogbafia. I like that song. Hey God, when the money don't stop. Sariwa. You even said Beniwa, bring mats. When the money don't stop. Ogbafia, they by my side. Oh man. Those things are, see, the way late 30s and 40 plus, the way I have fun a lot, honestly. You are going to be surprised. A lot of people out there doing what I'm doing, they want to create the impression that they don't listen to any of this. No, I listen to good music. I know that Wizkid's son released music yesterday. And he was taking a pass the baton to the new generation, something like that. I know the music. But the way I have fun is different from the way somebody below 30 would have fun. And listen, why don't you adopt that culture, even if you are below 30, and stop thinking that you have time? No, you don't. Don't make fun the center of your life. So by the time you are 30, 35, 40, you are knocking things off and closing deals. You're functioning in your pinnacle energy. You already built businesses, an empire for yourself. Don't joke with the next decade. Don't joke with the next decade. Don't joke with the next decade. Because listen, one of the reasons people grow old and then they become very bitter and sad, necessarily competitive, even competing with their own family members. You know why? Because there were possibilities in them that they did not explore. If you don't explore the possibilities in you now, at 50, 60, 40 something, you can imagine being jealous of a nephew that you are 20 years older than. You can just don't even imagine it. Don't imagine it. Because we've seen such cases where a 50-year-old uncle was jealous of a 25-year-old nephew because he did not explore the possibilities in himself. So whatever age you are right now, the key word here is you should start exploring. There are possibilities in you, within you, that you are meant to explore. There are possibilities within you that you are meant to explore. That's what I came to tell you today. So spirituality is responsibility. So all of the esoteric knowledge that we teach, they are not means of excuses. They are tools that you use to take responsibility for your life. They are tools that I use to take responsibility for my life. Because listen, by 2034, the way the whole world is moving, by 2034, activism is dead. I hope you know activism is dead. I mean, go and look at your so-called activists, whether they are political, religious activists. Where is Freeze today that used to fight Nigerian pastors? Isn't he also friends with some people that have questionable character? I mean, allegedly, how do they say? Where are the so-called people fighting government? They are also living a life, traveling here and there. Right? Where is Mr. Jollof today? Activism is dead. This is not the era. This is not the dispensation of activism. Imagine Freeze following Pastor Toby. Imagine, and he has excuses and reasons. He will tell you why, and he wants you to believe him. So if you are waiting for somebody to come and fight for you, oh, come on, man, I'm just sorry for you. There are no activists anywhere. Everybody is sponsored. Everybody is sponsored. So by 2034, it would even get more dramatic because, listen, you know why it's going to get more dramatic? Nobody will have time to fight for anybody. You are on your own. The concept of savior complex would have completely gone into extinction. So, someone was telling me one day, said, I really like you and a particular person, the way you give it to these religious pastors. I said, please, don't group me with anybody. I am not your religious activist. I am not here to fight Adeboye on your behalf. I have no fight with Adeboye or Edebo. I don't have any personal vendetta with any of them. I don't have any personal beef with religion. I don't. Because every now and then, one of the reasons people live their lives clout chasing is the savior complex. Expecting somebody to fight for them. And by 2034, all those ideas, they would have gone into extinction. Nobody to fight for you. So you have to sit down now and ask yourself deep questions. Be brutally honest to yourself. Nobody should offer themselves as burnt offering to men who are doing nothing wrong other than having their own plan. If somebody is trying to build a 100,000 seater auditorium, it is his plan. If someone is trying to buy a private jet and you think because the person is a pastor, he should not, is his plan. So if you are with them now, you know one of the funniest things I've seen about people. Oh, okay. One of the funniest things I've seen. One of the funniest things I've seen is this. Some people can give all of their life. Some people can actually sacrifice all their money to some people who they think are superior to them, not because those people are contributing anything substantial, but because there is an impression that those people prefer them to other people. I've seen people, close allies, who told me the story of a person who, because her pastor's wife liked her more than other people, she was emptying her life. But years later, when they discovered someone else who was better than her, they also started showing preferential treatment to that person. And she was enjoying it in that moment, not knowing that time was going. So if you are an adult and you are giving yourself either to a religious figure, religious institution, corporate organization, allowing them to use you, it's at your volition. Nobody tied a rope on your neck. An adult should be able to make decisions and choices for themselves that does not hurt them eventually. So if you are in that kind of situation, I'm telling you now that you must sit down and ask yourself honest questions. Be brutally honest to yourself. Because the concept of activism is dead. Nobody is going to fight for anybody. By 2034, you are on your own. The savior complex is extinct. That's it. So what are you meant to do as an adult? As an adult, you should know if an individual or an organization is the right space for you to commit and invest your time and your assets and your resources. Because you also know that by nurturing them with your energy, they are going to reciprocate. Either in cash, in kind, in whatever way. If you are not sure of that, don't leave the place. You are not a tree, you can move. Don't come in 2034 and be talking about, let me send you proof that pastor used me. Nobody needs your proof. I don't care about your proof. When you were enjoying the momentary gratification, you did not send me proofs. I've seen a lot of these things. I've seen people who actually they were already sending me pictures. I want to give you some evidence about how they have held me hostage in this place. Big churches, big pastors. And they were revealing secrets to me, and I warned them, don't ever send me. I don't want to be part of you people's drama. Don't ever. Do you want me to come on social media and start talking to people how this bishop did this to you? How is that my business? And start attacking the bishop. Yes, now I have evidence. I am not your very dark man. I am not anybody's activist. I am here to wake people's consciousness up, not to create the impression of a savior. I'm not here to save nobody. Yeah, I'm not here to save anybody. So if you are in this kind of situations and yet you are sitting there because, oh, they like me more than everybody. They like me. They will use you, dump you, and it's not going to be funny. Don't repeat parental error. I'm giving you tips on how to make the next 9 years of your life better. Practical tips on how to make the next 9 years of your life. Especially if you are in your 30s and your 40s. I look at a lot of people and I'm like, at your age. Oh, I'll tell you a story that will shock you tonight. Oh God. When I heard this story, I almost cried. And this happens everywhere. Corporate organization. It happens in families. It happens in religious institutions. There is a lady that served her aunt. Had the opportunity to travel out and study abroad. She didn't. Served her aunt. Was waiting for one day when her aunt will reward her. Nothing. She went broke, busted. Even the aunt laughed at her. So it's not just in religious spaces and communities that this happens. You are the one as an adult that will sit down because you have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you will become a tool that others will use to achieve their own plan. And you are not going to blame them for it because you made yourself available to be used as a tool, period. If you are available, people need people to achieve their aim. So if you know that you want to be useful, you must also ensure that by being useful, there will be reciprocity for your usefulness. Because if you come later that somebody should come, I'm not anybody's religion. Matter of fact, I am studying currently. The people I am studying are Nigerian pastors. Their biography. How were they able to start with nothing and they are where they are today? I love them so much. I don't agree with them all the time, but I am studying their biography. So I am the wrongest person, if there's any word like that, to come and meet about, oh, I like the way you give it to Nigerian pastors. Go and meet people that will do that for you. I'm not one of those your people. Because every adult must be able to use their brain and know how to make the right, healthy choice and decision. And this lady is a pastor friend of mine. She's a very popular female pastor. And she traveled to meet someone she calls her spiritual father. And when she got, her spiritual father is somewhere outside of Abuja. So she traveled to her spiritual father's church. And because she's doing well, she left a long time ago and she's doing really well. And she traveled to go and meet her spiritual father. And while she was there, her spiritual father introduced her and said, oh, my daughter is here with joy. Oh, my daughter is here. I want her to come up and speak to you. This is what she is doing. Oh, she has achieved this, has achieved that. And he called her up the stage. And she came up the stage and she spoke. And when she finished, her spiritual father took the mic. This is a true life story. Because you know what I'm telling you, some people are going to repeat the mistakes of their parents. They will repeat the errors of the father. The sins of their fathers will taunt them and they will fall victim to the same vicious cycle of buffoonery. And the spiritual father pointed at one of the men that did not leave him, that has always been with him for years, who is an instrumentalist. He was a drummer and now he became one of the ordained pastors of the church, and said, unlike you, this is a true life story. Look at where she is now. I'm so proud of her. Unlike you, some of you here, you won't move when the word of God says move. The same guy that sat down with you, served you, never left you. You are using him to compare somebody that left, because the person that left is now successful. Hey, God, man. People don't care if you leave them. They just care whether you are a failure or a success. It happens in organizations. It happens in organizations. If you are doing any business on my platform, please keep my 5 or 10%. I don't want that. Because I'm seeing, Pauline, send DM now. I'm not here to come and jones myself. And that was what the spiritual father, and this lady said she sat down and she was like, wow, I would have been the one this man would use as an example of failure, even though that man committed and gave all of his life to this so-called spiritual father. That's what has happened to a lot of people. That's what, to a lot of people. You have served people who you are meant to have served them without fighting them. Leave. No, but you didn't leave. And now they are using you to talk about, you are now their specimen for talking about how people can be in the same position and fail in life. Oh, God. Rabba Santa. So smartness. So it's very important. All the millennials, they suffered that. People born from 1975, right now, many of you, this is what you are suffering. In the hands of organizations, in the hands of corporate organizations, religious institutions, political organizations. I know a guy in this city who till now he is still doing errand boy for politicians. This is a guy that without him, some politicians cannot win election. He is the one they use every 4 years. He can stand at Wuse Market like this, and in 10 minutes, he will mobilize 1,000 boys. And I looked at him. Very soon, you will be too old to do this. And then they would have found another young person who is stronger than you, and they will dump you. What is wrong with you also contesting as senator? What is wrong with you contesting as House of Rep member? What is wrong with you contesting as governor? Must you always be the one to be used? Then when they are finished using you, you are now useless. They will now use you as an example of the story of somebody who is not smart, who is a failure. Thank you, Peter. You must wake up. The next 9 years is not for jokers. It's not for jokers. It's not for jokers. You are not going to live and fight, but you must analyze the situation. Pay attention to the trajectory of your relationship with them. You must know, based on where I am going, during the 36-day manifestation and future design mastery, I'm going to teach you how to design your North Star chart, your quadrants, your 4 quadrants. With all of these tools, you'll be able to know if where you are is where you are meant to be. If by committing yourself to a particular individual or an institution, all your commitments and your hard labor, your hard work, if it's also going to propel you towards your own vision. If it is not, you have to leave. You have to strategize a way to live. Because if you don't, if you fail, they are going to use you as an example of failure. But there are people that all they want is, wow, my Oga loves me more than everybody. And to them, that is their satisfaction. Oh, the pastor loves me more than everybody. The GM loves, I am the GM's most preferred staff. Anytime senator wants to call anybody to come, it's me they call. It's me they call. Anytime senator, it's me they call. A lot of people need neuroscience engineering. During the 36-day manifestation, we're going to look at the neuroscience of manifestation. I told you on Sunday, I said, train your brain to obey your spirit. You can't separate science and spirit. You can't separate behavioral science, right? And spiritual operations. No, you can't separate the two. So, but an inactive nervous system, a brain with dead cells, dead brain cells, or cells that are sleeping, would be okay, just they prefer me more than everybody. Anything they want to do is me they call. But time is going. Is you they call? Oh, really? Don't worry, the people they don't call will leave. And in 10 years, they won't call you again, because by then, maybe they will still be calling you, but you will still be an errand boy or an errand girl. I wish I had any religious community that I go to every now and then. But it's not for me. But a lot of you need it. And it's a cheat code. Let me tell you what some of you don't know. The fact that you belong. Somebody was telling me about a business. We were discussing a business today, and I said, I would like to do this business. And she was telling me, she said, the man that I introduced this business to, he has sold 20 of this in 1 week. And I said, how did he sell it? And he said, oh, he took it to a particular man. If I mention the man's name, you would know him. Very strong man in Redeem. And the man used it and said, this is good, and started calling his friends. If it does not belong to that community, I can sell my stuff without doing that. Anything I want to sell, I can sell it. But some of you need religious That's why they are within a religious community where there are opportunities and yet they are broke, dejected. Father, the only thing they want to benefit is good music. Oh Lord, I just want to thank you. They cry, they go home, still broke, busted, nothing to show for it. Meanwhile, the people who are not showing any spiritual thing, they are trying to navigate and watch. Who is there? Who is new here today that I can go and discuss some business thing with? Who is here now? How do I connect myself? You are looking for spiritual. You are looking for spiritual gymnastics. They are looking for business connection. You are there to cry about how God loves you so much more than everybody in your family. The way you do to love me, you can't. People who do these things are some of the nonsensical people. Just know that. Let them see that I'm dramatic. I have the Spirit. The Spirit is moving me. You carry my matter for your head, yo. No, nobody carried your matter on their head. Open your eyes and look out for quality people you are going to connect with. This is it. I look at somebody, a client was telling me, she was telling me about a beautiful idea. I said, I don't know people. And I was like, you just told me the church you attend. You are a strong member of the church. I know your pastor. I know his wife. I know how big that church has become. And you are telling me you don't know people? And they have made you the head of a department. But guess what? You have presented yourself as someone who is only good for prayer warrior. If you need somebody to balaka, call Sister Margaret. There is a business to discuss. Call that sister that doesn't show any spiritual anything, that just comes and sits and is well dressed. She's the one they call when it's time for business opportunity. When it's time for opportunity that will lift people up. But when it's time for, let's call somebody that will spit on our head and yell on top of our tongue and do it is you they call, and you feel good. Fireborn sister, firebrand. What's wrong with me this night? Oh God. When a lot of choir boys are like that. Sunday celebrity. Yeah, a lot of choir boys are like that. Sunday. You are in that kind of circle. And then every Sunday you wear your shoulder pad coat. Oh Lord, I just want to thank you. Are a superstar for 10 minutes of singing. You even brag to church members who can feed you. I have seen a lot of young men that I had to speak truth into their head. You think you are a superstar. You want to brag to church members, you don't know who they are. You don't greet them because the pastor because you have microphone, you think you have power. Which power? On someone else's stage, you are bragging. You are in an environment where you don't. That is your primary fan base. That's your primary market. But when it's time to sing and bring down the presence of the Lord, call brother Ibro. When it's time to sing and bring down the presence of the Lord, call brother Ibro. He knows how to take us into the presence of the Lord. But I have a real estate development I'm doing. No. It does not vibrate that energy. That's not your they don't see, that's not your frequency. But when it's time for that's all bad. Titi Aye sweating like a Christmas chicken. That's what No, it's the truth. That's when they call you, and then you come around and say, my My church members don't want to help me. They are bad people is a lie. Church members help their members is a lie. Church members help their members. I can tell you stories of churches that helped people that are committed. They just don't think that you need help in that area. Because all your own is let the fire of the Lord burn down. So when it's time for them to give somebody 50K, they give you. This brother he needs money for Coke and a pack of orange juice. So let's give him pack of orange juice and meat pie. So when it's time to talk about big business, they don't call you. That's my church members. Don't go to them. It is you. It's a lie. They help themselves. Churches help themselves. So you identify with them by being smart. That's what you are meant to do, by being smart. A lot of us, we are so stubborn and focused on our purpose. That's why we don't want to go that route. There are several times that people have called me and said, with this thing you are doing, if you can just brand it as maybe Christian esotericism, the kind of financial backing you are going to have, I said, I don't want. But many of you need to do it. Some people will never succeed in life without religious community. Some of you will never succeed without Islamic community. So you are meant to be the one. Go to mosque before everybody. Go and sit down. Especially big people. No, sir. Well, no problem. You can misinterpret it. Because in the next 9 years, people are your greatest asset. People are your greatest asset. People are your greatest assets. So we are preparing. Today is countdown day 34, right? Today is day 34 to the 36-day manifestation marathon and future design mastery that starts on the 16th of December. You don't want to miss it. This year's edition, we're going to look at some courses. How to design your North Star charts for the next 9 years. How to integrate the Grabovoi codes and sound frequencies into your personal numerology chart. Listen, I'm not here to tell you to leave your religion. If you want to leave, it's your decision. Because I have nothing to convert you to, except to convert you to yourself. So I'm not here to convert you. I'm not trying to initiate you into anything except into yourself. So if you sit down, you ask yourself questions, you will realize that some of the reasons why your life is not moving forward is because you are not taking advantage of the opportunities that are within proximity. We're going to look at the neuroscience of manifestation. We're going to decode universal and personal numerology of 2026. I'm going to teach you how to cast a spell around your name for the next 9 years. There is nothing demonic about it. Simple sound, frequency, numerology. So you can protect your name. So when people hear your name, they want to do stuff with you. Exactly. Sweet Society, I even gave her verses of the Quran to read from. I'm a happy man. I'm not upset with religion. Religion did not do any wrong to me. I disagree with some doctrines, belief system. That's it. Nothing personal. And as much as possible, many of you need to stick to your religion if you know that you don't want to break down. Except it is not part of your human evolution. Then you can make that decision. We're going to look at how to create your 2026 CG. How to create a 2026 CG for yourself, for your business. All of these advanced esoteric practices, you are going to learn them during the 36-day manifestation and future design mastery. And of course, there's going to be a lot of sessions on goal setting, your 4 quadrants of desire. We're going to look at some crystal and color of 2026, a lot of courses that you don't want to miss. If you want to register for that, the link is in the bio or send a DM. I look forward to being part of your journey to mastery, to purpose, to prosperity. in the next 9 years. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking for as many people as possible who are ready to wake up to their path, to their soul's contract, to their soul's blueprint. Many people with plans. Beware of a man who pretends that he doesn't have a plan, because you are meant to have a plan. Because a person without a plan can be used by other people. And when they are being used by other people, it may even affect you wrongly. People who are ready to be strategic about their life. And those are the people that this master class is for. So if you want to register for that, click the link in the bio. Tomorrow is countdown day 33. So thank you so much, guys. Share with us one thing that you have learned from tonight's session. What's that one thing? I sang a lot today. What's your takeaway from today's session? What's your takeaway from this evening's session? Let nobody use your head. Let nobody use your head. Be useful to yourself and to others. Start planning for the next 9 years. Start planning for the next 9 years. To grab opportunities within proximity. A lot of you, the opportunities you are looking for, they are just at your fingertip. They are just, somebody next to you is the one with the opportunity. Don't think small, start. Don't think small. Start from somewhere, exactly. Start with what you have and where you are. You have reassured me that I am of course, you are on the right track, definitely. You don't have all the time. You don't have all the time. You don't have all the time. The people you sip your wings for will later mock you for not. That's it. It's the truth. Look at the story I told you. Be strategic. Take advantage of religious communities. And I'm telling you, I have seen things that other people have benefited. Partnership, not servantry. Thank you. Partnership,